Welcome back to the channel, coin hunters and history lovers. Today we're exploring one of the most legendary pennies in U.S. numismatics, the 1914 D. Lincoln Wheat penny. If you've scrolled through coin forums or watched viral videos online, you might have heard wild claims that this penny can be worth as much as $1.3 million. Is that true? Is there really a treasure in your pocket change? Stick around as we break it all down. The history, the rarity, real auction records, and how much these coins are actually worth today. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and became the first widely circulated U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure on the front. On the back, instead of numbers or symbols, the coin displayed two stylized wheat stalks, giving the series its name. This design continued until 1958 before being replaced with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. LincolnWheatpenny.com now. The coin we're talking about, the 1914 D, carries a Denver D mint mark just below the year. That little letter tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint. What makes this penny so intriguing is how few were made compared to other Lincoln cents that year. Only about 1.19 million were minted in Denver, a tiny number compared to the Philadelphia Mint's production of well over 75 million that same year. This low mintage instantly made it one of the key date coins that serious collectors hunt for. Pennyverse.info +1 That burst of rarity means the 1914 D Wheat penny sits near the top of the wish list for many Lincoln cent collectors. In fact, this coin is considered one of the most important early pennies in the entire Lincoln series because it's so hard to find in high grade. Lesser condition examples still bring solid premiums over face value. Circulated coins in worn condition often sell in the hundreds of dollars range, and even modestly worn examples can fetch several hundred. Uncirculated or better condition coins, especially those with their original red copper color, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Here's where the myth kicks in. Some online posts and videos circulate a figure like worth $1.3 million for a 1914 D penny. However, reputable auction records and pricing guides don't support a sale at that level for a standard 1914 D Lincoln Wheat penny. The highest authenticated auction sales for this coin hover in the six-figure range, but not in the millions. For example, one of these coins certified in an extremely high grade brought just under $160,000 at auction, a staggering amount, but still far from the $1.3 million legend. Pennyverse.info Why do people talk about such massive values then? Part of it comes from the buzz around rare coins in general. We've seen true million-dollar coins, like certain 1943 bronze pennies struck in error, fetch well into the millions because there's only one known example in existence. Those are genuine million-dollar items. But the 1914 D simply isn't in that one-of-a-kind class. Its rarity is genuine, but it isn't unique. CoinIdentifier.com collectors agree that the rarer a coin is and the better its condition, the more it's worth. Coins that are graded and certified by reputable third-party services like PCGS or NGC carry much higher value because collectors trust those certifications. A certified 1914 D in superb red mint state might go for tens of thousands of dollars because very few survive in that condition. Pennyverse.info It's also worth noting that because of its high collector demand, the 1914 D is one of the most counterfeited Lincoln cents out there. Many altered or fake coins exist because unscrupulous sellers try to modify more common pennies to look like 1914 D examples. This makes professional grading and authentication essential if you think you might have one. BullionExchanges.com So what's the takeaway? The 1914 D Lincoln Wheat penny is absolutely one of the greatest penny key dates in U.S. coin collecting. Its low mintage and rarity in mint state conditions make it highly desirable and valuable, sometimes commanding five-figure prices at auction when in outstanding condition. But the idea that a typical 1914 D. Lincoln Wheat penny is worth $1.3 million is a myth that has grown online. No reputable auction records support that number for this issue. What does exist are multiple documented sales in the tens or even low hundreds of thousands of dollars for the best preserved examples. Still remarkable for a coin that started its life worth just 1 cent pennyverse. Info: if you ever find what you think is a 1914 D in your pocket change, don't toss it in the drawer. Have a professional take a look. With proper certification and grading, you could be holding a very special piece of numismatic history, even if it isn't the million-dollar treasure some videos promise. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have a coin you want us to talk about next, drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, valuations, and the stories behind them. That if you want, I can tailor this script with visual cues, voiceover timing notes, or a hook intro to boost viewer engagement. Just tell me what style you're going for. Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the story of a coin so common, yet so misunderstood that it has spawned myths of million-dollar values. The 1965 Lincoln penny. You've probably heard rumors online claiming there's a 1965 D Lincoln penny worth $1.2 million out there. But what's real, what's rare, and what's just hype? Let's separate the truth from the rumor. Let's start with the basics. The penny we're talking about features Abraham Lincoln on the front, or the obverse, and a Lincoln Memorial on the back, the reverse. This design was used by the United States Mint from 1959 through 2008 after replacing the classic wheat reverse that was in use from 1909 to 1958. So if you're thinking you've found a 1965 wheat penny, that's actually impossible. The wheat design hadn't been used for several years by 1965. Rarest.org. Now, let's talk about how many of these coins were made. The 1965 Lincoln penny was produced in massive quantities, over 1 billion coins, mostly at the Philadelphia Mint. That means most of these coins you find in everyday change are pretty common. Regular circulated 1965 pennies usually sell for face value or just a few cents in average condition. Rarest.org. So, where does the idea of worth millions come from? Let's unpack that. First, coin value is driven by three main things: rarity, condition, and collector demand. A coin that's well-preserved, in superb condition, and scarce in the market will sell for more than one that's worn and common. For the 1965 penny, most of the value in the mainstream collector market is tied to exceptionally high grades or minting errors. CoinIdentifier.com, for example, there have been documented sales of 1965 pennies graded MS67 or higher. That's extremely well preserved, which have sold for several $1,000s. Records show one sold for over $7,600 at auction. These are rare, perfect-looking coins that collectors sought after because of their superb condition, not because they're a secret million-dollar coin. Rarest.org. Then there are error coins, pennies with minting mistakes. These happen when something goes wrong during production, like off-center strikes, double strikes, or wrong planchets. Some of these errors can significantly increase a coin's value, but even these usually sell in the hundreds or low thousands of dollars range, not millions. CoinIdentifier.com. To be clear, a genuine 1965 Lincoln penny with a Denver D mint mark that's magically worth $1.2 million is not recognized in reputable numismatic records. In fact, the 1965 coin was minted almost exclusively in Philadelphia, so there really isn't a standard 1965 D issue in circulation. And if someone claims they have one worth over $1 million, you should be extremely skeptical. This isn't the first time rumors like this have gone viral. Coin collecting is full of legendary error coins that did sell for huge sums, like rare copper pennies from 1943 mistakenly struck in copper instead of steel. One of those coins has fetched over $1 million at auction because fewer than 3 dozen are known to exist and collectors desperately want them. These historic wartime errors are real and amazing, but they are not 1965 pennies. Gold silver stacks. If you want to know whether your own 1965 penny might be worth something, here's what to do. First, examine the coin for unusual details. Look for odd striking, doubling of letters or numbers, extremely sharp detail, and brilliant original color. Then, consider sending it to a professional grading company. Grading can significantly impact value. A coin graded MS-67 or MS-68 by a reputable service can bring a premium price. Rarest.org. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of 1965 pennies you find in circulation are simply worth their face value, 1 cent, unless they're truly exceptional. There are some amazing and rare penny stories out there, but the key is knowing which ones are legitimately valuable and which ones are just internet rumors. In summary, here are the real takeaways. The 1965 Lincoln penny is common and generally worth face value in circulated condition. Rarest.org. Exceptional uncirculated coins or error varieties can be worth thousands, not millions. CoinIdentifier.com claims of a standard 1965 penny being worth $1.2 million are not supported by numismatic auction records. Truly rare pennies, like the 1943 copper error, are documented and can be worth huge sums, but they are from different years and designs. Gold silver stacks. Alright, coin fans, that's it for today's deep dive. If you learned something new or you want us to appraise another coin mystery on your behalf, drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more coin history and value guides. Keep hunting for treasures in your change. You never know what's in your pocket. If you'd like, I can adapt this script to include a more story-driven hook, voiceover prompts, or visual cues for production. Just let me